Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I'm going to be making seasonal syrups. Now what I mean by that is I'm going to be making syrups that fit well with the season. For example, strawberry puree or syrup for spring and summer, pumpkin spice for fall, and peppermint for winter. I hope you guys enjoy and let's get right into it. Alright, starting off with the strawberry syrup, the first ingredient you're going to need is 3 tablespoons of granulated sugar. You can use white or off-white, doesn't really matter. Then you're going to need a 1/4 cup of water, 2 teaspoons of lemon juice, and roughly 1.5 cups of strawberries. You can use frozen or straight from the refrigerator. If you do use frozen, you have to warm them and cut them, but I would recommend doing that either way. Alright, to start, you're going to need a cutting board, a knife, and then your strawberries. Now, if you choose to cut your strawberries, I recommend cutting them into fourths. Cut it in half and then cut it in half again. They should all be roughly the same size. I prefer to use frozen strawberries because they're a whole lot cheaper, but both frozen and unfrozen work. Then I set them to the side. And here is some frozen strawberry ASMR. When all my ingredients are ready, I set the pan temperature to 1 below medium and then added my frozen strawberries. I stirred them around until it became almost a mushy texture. This right here is about what it should look like. After that, I went ahead and added my water, lemon juice, and half of the sugar. Then I again stirred it until all of the sugar granules are completely dissolved. After they're completely dissolved, add the rest of the sugar. This is what it should look like before you add the other half of your sugar. Again, like you did with the first one, make sure all the granules are completely dissolved before doing anything else. Now this is the consistency you should have before putting it into a blender. After I finished blending it, I went ahead and put it back into the pan to burn off any excess water to make it thicker. So this right here should be roughly the consistency that you should have. You can have it a little bit thicker or a little bit thinner. It just depends on your taste. And this right here is your final result. It is delicious, and I hope you guys love it as much as I do. Now moving on to recipe number 2, the pumpkin spice syrup. You're going to add 3/4 cup of brown sugar in a medium saucepan with no heat. Then you're going to add 3/4 cup of granulated sugar, and finally 1.5 cups of water. Then you're going to turn the heat up to 1 below medium. And you're going to use a wooden spoon. Any other spoon's fine. I find that wooden works best. And then stir that until all of the granules completely disintegrate. Next, I went ahead and added some pumpkin pie spice. If you don't have pumpkin pie spice, you can add 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of nutmeg, a 1/2 teaspoon of cloves, and a 1/2 teaspoon of ginger. Then I went ahead and added a half cup of pumpkin puree and then mixed that all together. I found that it was easier to mix it with a whisk, so that's what I would recommend. I did end up adding more pumpkin pie spice because it wasn't strong enough for me, so do keep in mind that if you like it stronger, add more, but do it intermittently based on your tolerance. Then I went ahead and turned the temperature down to a high simmer so that the syrup would become thicker. Once the syrup was thick enough for my liking, I went ahead and poured it into a mason jar, and the syrup was done. Now this last syrup is very simple. It is the peppermint syrup. You're going to need 2.5 tablespoons of water, 3 tablespoons of granulated sugar, and peppermint oil. In the same saucepan that you used to make your strawberry syrup, you're going to add your water and your granulated sugar. Do not add your peppermint oil because it'll just burn off and be a waste of oil. Turn the temperature up to 1 below medium and then wait for your mixture to thicken. Do not add your peppermint oil until right before you take it off of the heat. Also, for the sugar, if you want your syrup to be completely clear, then you need to use a white sugar instead of an off-white sugar. If you don't, then your color of your syrup will become more of a golden brown color, which can be easily fixed with some food dye, but if you want it to be clear, you have to use white sugar. It should continue to bubble like this until it becomes thicker. Right before I took it off of the heat, I went ahead and added about 4 drops of peppermint oil and then took it off the heat and put it into a mason jar and then put it in the fridge after it cooled down. So this is the golden brown color that I was talking to you guys about. It's pretty thick, but thick enough to be like a thicker syrup, if that makes sense. Then I went ahead and added some pink gel food coloring, and it looks really orange for some reason on camera, but it is a really pretty pink color in real life. So I would recommend doing that. You can't use food dye to color something clear, but you can use it to color it a pink color. Alright, that's all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Also, for the strawberry syrup and the pumpkin spice syrup, I did actually put it in one of my other videos. It is my homemade Starbucks renditions video. So go check that out if you want to see how I actually use these, and I hope to see you guys next time. This is the video that I used the first 2 syrups that I showed you how to make today. So go check that out if you want to learn some fun homemade Starbucks drinks to make. And yeah, see you guys next time. Bye!